Let's move on to our next main topic today. Ashley, what is our next main topic today?
All right, next is from Daniel Escandura. Hey, gang. So with Avengers Endgame dusting off the competition, I couldn't help but notice there was no sign of Hellboy. Then I went to search the movie on Box Office Mojo, and the movie was nowhere to be found. If that means the movie's theatrical run has come to an end, how much of a loss was the film at all?
I don't know if you can put it strongly enough just how much of a flop Hellboy was and is. And it's gone. And it came and it went. They bumped their release date, which never gave anybody any confidence about the bump. And then they didn't market it right. And they put out an overall, at best, an okay movie. At best, an okay movie. David Harbour was a terrific Hellboy. No doubt. He played the role great. I loved him, actually, as the character. But the story was nonsensical. And I get it. It's about a demon boy with giant horns raised by humans to fight the supernatural. How realistic? No, it was still ridiculous. Even in that context, it was ridiculous. And it just flopped so hard. Let's put in context how badly it flopped. This is going to be one of the biggest flops of the year. It's only May. This is going to be one of the biggest flops of the year. Had a production cost of $50 million, a marketing cost of $50 million for a total. Now, these are just ballpark numbers, but roughly a total cost of $100 million to get this movie made. Grand total worldwide, it made $21 million at the box office. Understanding that the theaters are going to keep roughly about 1/3 of that. That means they actually took in $14 million. Now, with a cost of $100 million, total intake of $14 million, that means this little movie lost $84 million. This movie lost more than the entire production budget worth of the movie. That's how badly this film flopped. And it's a shame because we were all excited for a new Hellboy movie. It's a shame, Rob, because I think, we were kind of giddy about the idea of them revisiting. Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, was on board and helping creatively. I love the director who was on board with it. I thought the trailers, after that first odd Billy Idol trailer, I thought the trailers after that really found their footing, but again, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. I think they lost a lot of people with that first trailer they put out, and now we see it, like Ray so accurately put in this thing, they just burned money, man. Rob, is it safe to say at this point that we are not, in the next 15 years, we are not going to see another Hellboy movie again?
I think that's probably pretty safe. I mean, I've read a lot. There was a lot of acrimony on this set. The producer was fighting with the director. It's not the way to make a film. I think what's an interesting contrast is the way you have the MCU made, and Spider-Man is even at another studio. When you have filmmakers on the same page as the producers in the studio, you get the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And when you don't, when there's infighting on a set, there's nothing more destructive. And that's what happened to Hellboy. And it's really sad, because I'm a big Hellboy fan. I have the collected editions, the beautiful hardcovers of the original Hellboy stuff, the comics, and I had high hopes for this movie, and it's a sad day when something like this happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate on two different levels. On the one level, it's unfortunate that a movie we were looking forward to and that we were excited about didn't work out the way we had hoped. On the other level, it's never good for the genre as a whole when a movie comes out and completely just gets obliterated. Now, granted, there's a lot of attention being given to Endgame. There was attention being given to Shazam. There's attention being given to Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. But you want these movies to do well. And the fact of the matter is, I remember it was somebody wrote in Forbes the other day, all comic book movies will be financially successful. I'd like to introduce you to Hellboy. And it kind of proves the point that if you can't just put out a comic book movie and expect it to make $400 million worldwide, you can't do it. If you don't put in the work, if you don't make it something that the audience is going to enjoy, if you don't make it financially responsible, and if you don't market it right, you're going to look at not just a flop, but a monumental flop. And let this be a cautionary tale to the folks over at Marvel, at DC, and everything about what can happen if you don't keep your guard up. Don't start to rest on your laurels. Last comic book movie made over $2 billion. Easy. No, you can't, because you're going to get bit in the ass. And that's what happened to these guys. They got bit on the ass, and they got bit on the ass hard.